What's going on, everyone? So in this video, what I want to do is I want to talk about high ticket sales and the truth behind it, because unfortunately, a lot of people are, probably misleading you. And I'm specifically talking from a point of view of somebody who like has scrolled Instagram and TikTok, and it seems like for whatever reason, children have spawned out of nowhere. And they're just kind of yelling at you, telling you that you're, a piece of shit for not making 10 grand a month in the next 15 days. So like what I want to do is talk about a couple of points here that I have on the screen, and yeah, hopefully educate you as well on whether or not it's a good fit for you, because I'll be honest, I'll be the first person to tell you it's not the right fit for everybody right off the bat. There are different alternatives that you can probably dive into to make money online, but again, specifically talking to people who are like on the outside, they're looking in, they're not really too sure on what it actually looks like. And this is coming from somebody who has been in the space for about 5 years. I originally got started with an appointment setting position. Did that for 2 years, scaled up to like 12 grand a month in commissions. That was my record month. Helped the business scale to about 200 grand a month. And that was a 2-person team. So that was really fun, kind of unheard of for the time that we were doing it. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. So I got 4 points here that I want to talk about. First one being, it's not actually for everyone and anyone. The reason I say this is it does require a certain type of individual. Okay, like high ticket sales in general, we all know is just not for everyone. One of the biggest things that I think are the differences between somebody who performs and somebody who gets very discouraged earlier on is somebody that does not have higher level communication skills, right? For whatever reason, and I have no idea how I even developed this. I'll be completely honest with you and transparent. I've always just been somebody who like is well spoken, I guess. People have told me before, like I am quote unquote wise and I know what to say, how to say it, and whatnot. I like to make a joke and I like to say I'm just kind of a professional bullshitter at times. But it does require, higher level communication, right? That's just the truth. It also does require you to be a hard worker. Realistically, high ticket sales is like any like job, honestly, but it does pay you more when you're willing to do more than the other guy, right? And that's why it's a really good vehicle for you to actually scale your income aggressively. Because if you are an absolute weapon and you come in hot, like you're gonna do okay, right? But there's a lot of people that come in and for whatever reason they don't have the work ethic that they thought they did, and they just don't make it past 30 days. Like realistically, they don't. So if you can, foresee yourself making it past the 30-day period of being in this space, hopping on calls and whatnot, getting told no almost every single day, then you're going to be okay. Right. But the truth is, influencers, and this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier on, influencers are selling you the dream, right? Because it's really only beneficial for them, right? Because they have a course to sell you and whatnot. Like I have something to sell you as well, but I'm not trying to say you're going to make 100K a month or 10K a month in the next 30 days guaranteed. It's just not realistic, and it's one of the things I'm going to talk about here as well. So that's the first point there. Second point, a lot of the current opportunities in the actual online space aren't actually that good, right? There were a lot that were good, I will say, maybe towards the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, and that's not really the case. And the reason behind that, at least my theory behind that, is the online space is growing so much that like owners are growing as well, right? Alongside that growth. So there are new businesses launching every single day. And yes, that's a good thing, but that's also kind of a bad thing, because when you have really good owners, people that are going to scale aggressively and they have a good head on their shoulders, there is like 10 times more people that don't, that are just, they don't know what they're doing. They're dum-dums, right? And so most CEOs, truthfully today, are just too lazy to do the hard work. And I use this term very lightly, by the way. Like CEOs is just somebody who like actually has the LLC. That's literally what I'm referring to. And so what ends up happening is these people end up looking at you, people that are sales professionals, high ticket salespeople, appointment setters, etc. You become a potential solution to all of their problems. And so when they see you that way, I mean, it becomes enticing to hire you and to get you, taking calls and whatnot. And that's really the only thing they're focused on. But that's a problem, right? If you're the solution to all of their problems, it's not a good thing. In other cases, it could be a good thing if you end up actually charging them for it. You can do like a growth operating offer and whatnot. But that's down the line, right? We're specifically talking about people that are looking to get into sales. They're starting from zero. This is something that happens very, very frequently, unfortunately. And so that's kind of one of the things that I've done within, like my program where I help guys get directly like placed into opportunities is we've kind of doubled down on the vetting process, on asking higher level questions that only people that we know are worth the value that they say they are going to be able to answer. Okay, so do yourself a favor, educate yourself on what really good opportunities actually look like. And I'll be coming out with more videos. I'm really just focused as much as I can be on educating people, on really, really helping people make a good decision. Because if you're well educated, you know the ins and outs, you have all of the answers to your questions, it's most likely going to go well for you. But if you don't, and you're just kind of being sold this pipe dream and you're going to hope it's going to go well, it's just not going to go well for you, right? Your expectations are just way out of the loop. So there's that, right? Number 3, this is probably going to hurt a lot of hearts. You are most likely not going to make 10K a month in the next 30 days. And listen, I will be the first one to tell you, it can happen. It's not without or it's not outside of the realm of possibilities. But the truth is, just looking from the outside in terms of my situation, it took me like a year before I ever even cracked 5K, let alone 10K, right? There are ways to obviously speed this up, hence why I do what I do. But just to make sure you have your expectations properly set, put that in your head already, right? Don't come into the space thinking that you're an absolute failure if you don't do that within the month. Because look, again, everybody's situation is very, very different. A lot of people do come from like sales backgrounds already. And if you're starting from zero, you have never sold anything in your life, it's just probably not going to work that way. But you can get ahead of the curve and set that expectation for yourself. And you can still do the work towards getting to that goal anyways. And then when it ends up happening, you can come back to this video and comment, how silly I am for telling you that and trying to spook you out of it. But again, I think it's a good thing if you get ahead of the curve and you don't fall into the pile of people that are just going to quit on day 30 because they didn't make 10 grand a month, right? Because some random kid in Miami told them that it's possible, right? Cool. Number 4, you will most likely not go directly into closing. This one, again, is a little bit of a nail biter, I think, for some people, because people just want to get directly into closing. For whatever reason, they overlook appointment setting, right? But I'm sure there are those one-off situations where this happens, but truthfully, you are just too much of a liability for a business owner, right? You're too close to the money. And so just hiring a random stranger, even if somebody can vouch for you, it is a little bit tough, right? They gotta make sure that you're well trained up. You can almost take care of the same exact sales process, just in a shorter way, like with an appointment setting position. They want to make sure you can do that first before you get super close to the money, because it really does come down to you, right? If somebody's going to buy, if somebody's going to pay on that call and they're going to swipe their credit card. So I highly recommend. That's why I do what I do. That's why this entire channel is based on appointment setting, is because you're going to learn the basics. You're going to gain confidence. You're going to earn a paycheck, and you're going to actually get on a path towards becoming a closer. And look, this has happened for multiple individuals, right? And just so you guys know as well, like getting into closing is not only your option. It's not your only option. There are plenty of things you can do. I've had people get into appointment setting. They have cracked 5, 6, 7 grand a month. They had some fun. Obviously they got their first taste of online money. And then they went on to explore different opportunities, like getting into operations, right? Like just being a back-end operations person or a client success manager or content creation. But then again, things become way easier when you understand the foundations of skill sets. So I hope this video helped you guys, at the very least, become just a tad bit more knowledgeable about high ticket sales. Because again, like I scroll on Instagram just like everybody else, but I have been doing it less because I keep seeing this, like it's a repeating pattern, and I'd rather just do my part, educate people in the right way and get them started in the right way. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this format of content. By the way, it's literally a Google Doc that I whipped up in about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm just kind of like rambling, but hopefully this is of value. And if you guys like the video, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.